The Big Brag by Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss died on the day I was born, by the way.
That's on today.
The rabbit felt mighty important that day on the top of the hill where the sun where he lay. He felt so important up there on that hill that he started in bragging as animals will. As he boasted out loud, as he threw out his chest, of all of the beasts in the world, I'm the best.
Of all the beasts in the world, I'm the best.
I'm the best. On land and on sea, even up in the sky, no animal lives who is better than I. What's that? Growled a voice that was terribly gruff. Now, why do you say such ridiculous stuff? The rabbit looked down and he saw Big Bear. I'm the best of the beasts, said the bear, and so there. You're not, snapped the rabbit. I'm better than you. Pooh! The bear snorted. Again, I say pooh. You talk mighty big, Mr. Rabbit, that's true. But how can you prove it? Just how can you do? Thought the rabbit. Now, what can I do? He thought and he thought. Then he finally said, Mr. Bear, do you see those two ears on my head? My ears are so keen and so sharp and so fine. My ears in the world can hear further than mine. No ears in the world can hear further than mine. Humph! The bear grunted. He looked at each ear. You say they are good, said the bear with a sneer. But how do I know just how far they can hear? I'll prove, said the rabbit. My ears are the best. You sit there and watch me. I'll prove it by a test. Then he stiffened his ears and they both stood up high. And he pointed straight up at the blue of the sky. He stretched his ears open as wide as he could. Shh, I'm listening, he said as he stood. He listened so hard that he started to sweat, and the fur on his ears and his forehead got wet. For 7 long minutes he stood, then he stirred, and he said to the bear, do you know what I heard? Do you see that far mountain? It's 90 miles off. There's a fly on that mountain. I just heard him cough. Now the cough of a fly, sir, is quite hard to hear when there's 90 miles off, but I hear it quite clear. So you see, bragged the rabbit, it's perfectly true that my ears are the best, so I'm better than you. The bear for a moment just sulked as he sat, but he knew his ears couldn't hear like that. This rabbit, he thought, made a fool out of me. Now I've got to prove that I'm better than he. So he said to the rabbit, you hear pretty well, so you can hear 90 miles, but how far can you smell? I'm the greatest of smellers, he bragged. See my nose? This nose on my face is the finest that grows. No, my nose can smell anything, both far and near. With my nose, I can smell twice as far as you. You can't, snapped the rabbit. I can, growled the bear, as he stuck his big nose way high up in the air. He wiggled that nose and sniffled, and he snuffed. And he waggled his nose, and he whiffled and huffed. For more than 10 minutes, he snapped and he snuffed. Then he said to the rabbit, I smell far enough. All right, said the rabbit, come on now and tell exactly how far that you can smell. Oh, I'm smelling very far. A very far smell, said the bear. Away past that fly on the mountain out there. I'm smelling past many great mountains beyond, 600 miles to the edge of a pond. And way out there by the pond you can't see is a very small farm. On the farm is a tree. On the tree is a branch. On the branch is a nest. A very small nest with 2 tiny eggs rest. 2 hummingbird eggs, only half an inch long. But my nose, said the bear, is so wonderfully strong. My nose is so good that I smell without fail. That egg on the left is a little bit stale. And that is a thing that no rabbit can do. So you see, the bear boasted, I'm better than you. My smeller's so keen that it just can't be beat. Now, what's that? Called a voice from way down by his feet. The bear said the rabbit looked down at the sound and he saw a worm crawling out of the ground. Now, boy, said the worm, you've been bragging a lot. You both think you're great, but I think that you are not. You're not as half as good as a fellow like me. You can hear and you can smell, but how far can you see? Now I'm here to prove, you big boasting guys, that your nose and your ears aren't as good as my eyes. And the little old worm cocked his head to one side and he opened his eyes and he opened them wide, like Cassie. And then far away with a strange sort of snare.
That was me.
The eyes of that worm almost popped from his head. He stared half an hour till his eyelids got red. That's enough, growled the bear. Told the rabbit and me, how far did you look and just what did you see? Well, boys, my back is getting sore and I'm tired of reading this poem, but there is some more. The worm answered, that look that I took was a look that looked further than you'll ever look. I looked across the ocean way out to Japan, for I can see further than anyone can. So there's no one on earth who has eyesight that's finer. I looked past Japan, then I looked across China. I looked across Egypt and took a quick glance across 2 centuries of Holland and France. Then I looked across England and also Brazil. But I didn't stop there. I looked much further still. And I kept right on looking and looking until I looked around the world right back at this hill. And I saw on this hill, since my eyesight's so keen, the 2 biggest fools that I have ever seen. They're poking my head, it's annoying me. And the fool said that I saw were none other than you, who seem to have nothing else better to do. Then I sat here and argued who's better than who. Then the little old worm gave his head a small jerk, and he dived in his hole and went back to his work.